So yesterday we talked about inscribed quadrilaterals, kind of like this do now picture, and we'll go over one. Today we're going to talk about a new vocab word called tangent lines. And just so you know what's happening this week, Monday was a new 9.03, Tuesday new 9.04, that's what we're doing now. Wednesday is going to be new 9.05. And all these lessons are pretty hard. I'd say 903, 904, and 905 are difficult. So Thursday, we're not going to learn anything new. We're just going to review those three and do like a work packet with just these types of questions. That way you could come online on Zoom and ask me any questions you need. And then Friday this week is going to be a quiz before we go for spring break next week. So you won't have any online classes or work to do next week. So just a little breakdown of the week coming up. So yesterday we talked about inscribed quadrilaterals. That is a quadrilateral in a circle. So this is a picture of one. And we learned a property that angles across from each other add up to 180. So angle D and angle B would add up to 180 here. Now, you could pause this video and try those two questions or find X and Y, and then hit play when you're done. So we get X minus 10, angle D, plus angle B would have to add up to 180. So I could use this equation to solve for X. So negative 10 and 75 are like terms, so plus 65 equals 180. Then we're going to subtract 65 from both sides. And we'll get 115 for X. So that is X. So this angle here, angle D is X minus 10. So that's 105. And 105 plus 75 equals 180. So we know we did that correctly. Now, same thing for the other two. Angle A and angle C are across from each other, so they also add up to 180. So honestly, I could do this one in my head because I see an 80. Angle C is going to be 100. So I could set 100 equal to y plus 30, but I'll just do the whole equation so we get used to it. So 80 plus y plus 30. The two angles across from each other equal 180. All right, so we get y plus, that's 110 equals 180. So subtract 110 from both sides and we get 70. So y equals 70. And that would make sense if I put in a 70 here, add 30, this angle would be 100, and the ones across from each other equal 180. So that's what we learned yesterday. Inscribed quadrilaterals, angles across from each other equal 180. And just a little bit of review from Unit 7, similar triangles. We know for similar triangles, angles are equal and sides are proportional. So we're talking about sides on this picture, so we're going to set up a proportion. So what side matches up with X? Well, X is C to B, so it's got to be EF. So X over 5 equals. And what other two sides match up? We could pick any two. Let's just pick two that match up. Let's do 21 is AB. 21 over. So AB matches up with DE. So I want to make sure I pick matching or corresponding sides. So I could cross multiply. 7x equals 21 times 5, which is 105. Divide both sides by 7. And I get 15 for x. So this side is 15. Another way you could have done it, if you saw, oh, I'm just multiplying by 3, that's my scale factor. 5 times 3 is 15. You could have got there that way too, but the proportion always works even when you can't see them in your head. So the key thing we need to know today is proportions have equal angles and proportional sides, because that's going to come up today in the lesson. It's a really important concept that we learned earlier this year. So let's go to the next page and do the notes for today. So today we're going to talk about tangent lines. And what tangent lines are, if I have a circle, a tangent line is just a line that hits the circle once. So I'm going to make a line. So there is a tangent line. It hits the circle in one spot and it's on the outside of the circle. So the most important property about a tangent line is it is perpendicular to the radius. So if I drew the radius of this circle, those would be perpendicular. So if I drew a triangle outside the circle, and that's a tangent line, it makes a right triangle. So tangent lines also make right triangles. So we could use all those properties of Unit 8 about right triangles, like Pythagorean theorem. If we had to use sine, cosine, and tangent, we could, but we're not going to today. So in this diagram below, FG is tangent to the circle. So right away, that tells me this is 90 degrees. FG is tangent. That's all it's telling me. Okay. HG is 5, so my radius is 5. And HF is 13. HF is 13, so that's my hypotenuse. So if I want to find FG, well, it's a right triangle, so I'm just going to use Pythagorean theorem. So this is just like our old unit last unit. Remember, my hypotenuse is always across from the 90, so it's 13 squared. 5 squared is 25 plus x squared equals 139 or 169. Subtract 25 from both sides, and x squared equals 144. Square root of 144, x equals 12. So I could find a missing side of a tangent with the right triangle and using Pythagorean theorem. So that's our first key idea for tangent lines, right triangles. Our second key idea is if I have two tangent lines and two circles. So now I have two triangles. Well, I know if these lines are tangent to the radius, they make 90-degree angles. So they're both right triangles. So that's one angle the same. Well, they also have this angle the same because they're vertical. So that's another angle the same. And an angle proves these triangles are similar. So we could set up a proportion. And the easiest way to set up these proportions, the sides that match up is radius 1 over radius 2 equals whatever sides they give you for the other one. So maybe side 1, and then this would be, with the 90, this would be side 2. Just don't get confused. It doesn't match up this side with this side because that's the hypotenuse. So I want that base and this base of the triangle. Sometimes they might give you the hypotenuses and have hypotenuse over hypotenuse though. So you just got to make sure they match up the correct parts of the triangle. So let's look at an example together. So here's our first example. We got BZ is 4. AZ is x plus 5. AP is 6, so that's my radius. And BQ is x, also my radius. So what is the relationship between these two triangles, and how do you know? Well, they say AP is tangent. So tangent tells me 90-degree angles, because that green line's tangent to both circles. So if I have tangent lines and these angles are the same, we have triangle APZ is similar to triangle BQZ. And I know this because angle. Two angles are the same, so they are similar. So with similar triangles, I could set up a proportion. So let's do that here to solve for x. So 6 over x, I have radius 1 over radius 2, equals, all right, I got x plus 5 over 4. So we're going to cross multiply. X times x plus 5 equals 6 times 4 is 24. So we get x squared, don't forget to distribute, plus 5x equals 24. So x squared plus 5x minus 24 equals 0. So you have an x squared and an x and a constant. So I want to get it equal to 0 so I could factor. All right, what multiplies to negative 24 and adds to 5? 8 and 3. And I want the bigger number to be positive because it's positive 5x. So it's x plus 8, x minus 3. So x equals negative 8, or x equals positive 3. So I'm guessing it's going to be positive 3, yes, because because negative 8 plus 5 over here, that would give me a negative side. I can't have a negative side, so it's got to be positive 3. Now the last part. So this side of the triangle, 3 plus 5, this side is 8. We want the perimeter of APZ. APZ, this triangle. Well, I got 6 and 8, so I got 2 of the sides. I still need the third side to get the perimeter. But it's a right triangle, so I could just do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals y squared, because y is the hypotenuse of this triangle. 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64 equals y squared. So y squared equals 36 plus 64 is 100. Square root of 100, y equals 10. So the perimeter equals 6 plus 8 plus 10. So the perimeter of triangle APZ equals 6 plus 8 plus 10 is 16 plus 8, 24. Bam, done. So long problem. We had to first know we had similar triangles, so we could use a proportion. Then if we had to find a third side, we would just use that Pythagorean theorem. So I want you to try the example on the next page and then hit play, and I will show you the answer. All right, so we have 2 tangent lines, so these are right triangles. And so that means if these angles are vertical, we have similar triangles, so we could set up a proportion to solve for x. So the radiuses match up, so x over 4. I got radius 1 over radius 2. And then I got the bases of the triangle, 4 over x plus 6. Now we just got to cross multiply. So 16, because 4 times 4 is 16, x times x plus 6. Remember, we got to distribute when there's 2 terms. So we have 16 equals x squared plus 6x. Subtract 16 from both sides because I want it equal to 0. X squared plus 6x minus 16. And now I got to factor it. What multiplies to 16 and adds to 6? Negative 16. 8 and 2 multiply to 16. I want the bigger number to be positive because I got a positive 6. So I'm going to go positive 8, negative 2. So this equals 0. So x equals negative 8. X equals positive 2. So I solve for x. We're going to choose the positive one because if I had negative 8 plus 6, we get negative 2. That wouldn't make any sense. So we want to determine the length of e to b in simplest radical form, though. E to b is this line. Well, if I look at that triangle, let's call this y. We got 4. 2 plus 6 is 8. So I could just use Pythagorean theorem to find EB. So 4 squared plus 8 squared equals EB squared or y squared, whatever you want to write, because that is the hypotenuse. So we get 16 plus 64 equals EB squared. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So EB equals the square root. Oh, 16 plus 64 is 80. Now, there's no perfect square for 80. There would be for 81. That'd be 9. So it's going to be a decimal. Or if they say simplest radical form, I got to break it down. So I could break down 80 into a couple things, but 16 times 5 would be the perfect or the biggest perfect square. I could do like 20 times 4, but then I'd have to break down 20 as well. So 16 times 5 equals EB. So EB equals square root of 16 is 4. Can't take the square root of 5, so I'm going to leave it. So now I figured out EB. So we set up a proportion first. Then we use Pythagorean theorem to find that missing side of whatever triangle I need. We're going to do one more type of problem at the bottom. And then we're going to move on to the You Try Round 2 and exit ticket. So this one's my favorite type of problem because it involves some thinking. So we have 2 tangent lines, BO and BA. So, or it should be BC. Oh, BA and BC are tangents. So this line's tangent and this line's tangent. So we have 2 right triangles. And the radii, OA, so this is a radius, and OC, this is a radius. So those are the same. And this is a radius. So it's all the same radius for a circle. So OA is 6. DB, so from here, D to B is 8. Determine the length of AB in simplest radical form. So I'm going to separate out this yellow triangle so you could see it a little better. So we got 6, we got Y, and then we have this line that is the hypotenuse. But if 6 is the radius, O to D is the same length of the radius, so that's 6. Then D to B is 8. So the whole side of this triangle is 14. It's not 6 or 8, it's 14. You had to fill in that little piece of radius here, which is 6. Now I could just use Pythagorean theorem because it is a right triangle. So I got 6 squared plus my other side or base is y squared equals my hypotenuse is 14. So 6 squared is 36 plus y squared. 14 times 14 is 196. I'm going to subtract 36 from both sides. And I'm going to get 160. Y squared equals 160. All right, so I do the square root of 160. But it's the simplest radical form. So I don't want a decimal. I want to break down this radical. Well, 16 times 10 would work. Square root of 16 is 4. I can't do the square root of 10, so I'm going to leave it. So y equals 4 radical 10. So this was a little trickier. You had to know that the radius was going to be equal. Let me delete some things. You had to know that the radius was going to be equal in this picture. So if they give you the radius is 6 here from A to O, it's the same here from O to D. So the whole side of this triangle is 14. That was like the tricky part. I like that question. All right, so what we're going to do for the rest of class, you try round 2, and then you're going to do the exit ticket. For your grade today, you're just going to submit a picture of your exit ticket on Google Classroom. All right, have a great day.